harmful chemicals used in a crucial tool for firefighters.
We didn't know. We trusted that the chemicals that were in these foams were doing the right thing.
Tonight, we are breaking down the push to phase out these substances in Colorado.
Mail issues complicating life for a Colorado veteran.
My medications from the VA, they're in the mail. That's important.
When he couldn't get answers from the Postal Service, he contacted Denver 7.
Plus, a Colorado musician set to honor Ukraine at the Grammys.
I will play and sing, showing the world we have Ukrainian culture.
Forever chemicals are used in household items, but dangerous to people when exposed at high levels. And tonight, there is a phase to push out products containing these substances here in Colorado. Good evening, everybody. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Micah Smith. They're known as PFAS. Now, these chemicals have been linked to cancer, birth defects, and other illnesses.
And as Denver 7's Rob Harris explains tonight, Colorado firefighters are already getting rid of these chemicals.
So that's what the red dotted lines are.
For Bonnie Rader, the fight against PFAS chemicals is personal.
I've lived out here since '74, and at that time, all of these pits were open. And my family was really sick because we were literally wearing the chemicals because they carried in the air all the way over to my home.
Rader now chairs the Lowry Landfill Citizen Advisory Group, and they're calling on the state to conduct more tests for these chemicals at the Denver Arapahoe disposal site in Aurora.
We're worried about our well water. Our goal is to find a solution to these chemicals out here.
PFAS chemicals are often called forever chemicals by scientists because they break down very slowly and remain in the ground and in the water for a very long time. They're found in things ranging from food containers to furniture to carpet. And according to the EPA, exposure to them can lead to decreased fertility, developmental delays in kids, and increased risk of some cancers.
Even though we don't talk about cancers as often as perhaps we should, we know that it's ever present in our life.
Exposure to PFAS in firefighting foam and gear is one of the leading theories for increased risk of cancer among firefighters, who are 14% more likely to die from the disease compared to the U.S. population.
We don't like to talk about what could hurt us. We don't like to talk about what can kill us.
The Colorado legislature is considering a bill that would ban many products with PFAS chemicals in the state, but many fire departments are getting ahead of the game. The state has a voluntary buyback program, offering $40 per gallon of firefighting foam containing the chemicals. 27 departments have taken part so far, including Denver Fire.
We trusted that the chemicals that were in these foams were doing the right thing, not only for the environment or the emergencies that we were faced with, but also for us as firefighters. It really breaks your heart, and as a firefighter that has been exposed to these things for a number of years, that's when the cancer conversations come to light.
According to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, more than 10,000 gallons of firefighting foam have been turned in, and they're now in storage until the EPA comes up with a safe plan to dispose of them properly.
We have to figure out a solution to all of it, and I think we can do that if we get together and stop trying to just say it's okay when it's really not.
Now, it's not just our lawmakers taking on these forever chemicals. Colorado's Attorney General filed a lawsuit against 15 makers of firefighting foam in February, saying they caused contamination found in water samples across the state that put public health in danger. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rob. Dramatic video out tonight of Arapahoe County deputies pulling dogs from a burning RV. The deputies arrived to find smoke pouring out of the camper. They were able to free 2 dogs that had tried to get out through the window before pulling out 2 more dogs knocked out by the smoke. The deputies were able to get the dogs outside, where they performed chest compressions before they were taken to a veterinary hospital. Now, sadly, one of them had to be put down. Another dog the deputies could not see inside the camper also died. But without their heroics, none of the dogs might have lived.
If we didn't get on scene within the 30 seconds to a minute that we did, I don't think any of those dogs would have survived. I don't think they had much time, so we're very grateful that we were in the area when it came out.
We just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
The deputies say their hope is that others would do the same for their dogs as they did. Great work by first responders.
The Denver Department of Health says it is waiting for a new shipment of naloxone as demand just skyrockets. Now, naloxone, commonly known by the brand name Narcan, is used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. The Denver Department of Health says it received more than 4,400 requests for this spray just since the middle of February. So for context, the department saw only 380 orders from September through early February. The health department says people can find naloxone at pharmacies all across town as it awaits another shipment.
A $2,000 reward is now being offered for information in a Denver homicide investigation. 17-year-old Jasmine Rivas Hernandez was found dead in an alley Saturday afternoon. This is near the East Colfax and Quebec corridor. Now today, Denver police revealed the teen had been shot. Anybody with information about the case should call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous.
A Colorado veteran left waiting for important medication to arrive in his mailbox.
Very frustrating. Now he's turning to contact Denver 7's CB Cotton for help as he awaits for answers from the Postal Service.
Yep.
This medicine usually helps David Goss rest.
Sometimes if you have neuropathy at night, it's hard to sleep. And it helps you relax so you can sleep.
But over the past 2 weeks, all he's done is worry. His usual shipment of medication never arrived.
All last week, no mail.
So he took matters into his own hands.
I had an appointment a week ago Monday at the VA, so I figured I'm going to pick up my medication there.
But he also started asking questions. He says he and others depend on the Postal Service.
My medications from the VA, they're in the mail. That's important.
So late last week, after 10 days of no mail, he flagged down a carrier who told him,
I'm contracted from Nevada to come here and deliver mail, and I've been working 8 in the morning to 10 at night.
In this lengthy statement to Denver 7, USPS said in part that staffing is impacting delivery abilities, adding that the Denver area needs more than 120 carriers. The agency also said they are indeed using personnel from the surrounding region.
Something's going on.
In late January, neighbors just south of Denver talked to Denver 7 about delayed mail service.
It starts becoming very obvious that you go out and you don't get mail for 2, 3, 4 days.
USPS began a hiring campaign in 2021 that was supposed to continue through early this year. Goss hopes that they get the people they need because he and others are counting on them.
I'd be glad if it came once every 3 days.
In Denver, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
And if you believe your mail is delayed or lost, you can reach out to the Postal Service by calling the number there on your screen. You can also file a complaint on the Postal Service website. Aiming to clean up our air, Colorado lawmakers are advancing a bill that would make RTD trains and buses free for a month. So if this is signed into law, RTD would run a fare-free pilot program during the month of August. The goal is to encourage more people to use public transportation instead of driving their own vehicles to cut down on pollution. The bill passed its first committee hearing this week, and it would set aside $14 million to pay for this program.
The nation's first cannabis lounge is opening its doors right here in Denver. Tetra Lounge is the first business to receive a marijuana hospitality license, allowing customers to consume marijuana inside the business. This is also part of the city's marijuana social equity bill, which dedicated licensing into Denver's marijuana industry for women and people of color for the next 6 years.
We still have a community that is overburdened by, possession rules and arrest on their records, but yet couldn't partake in the multi-billion-dollar industry. So these new elements of the expanded marketplace create that opportunity for them.
As soon as Tetra passes the final business inspections, they will officially open to the public.
Well, Colorado is entering a new phase of the pandemic. Tomorrow, the state will shut down its mass vaccination sites, including those at Dick's Sporting Goods Park and Waterworld. State health officials say this really shouldn't impact access to the vaccine, with 2,000 clinics still enrolled in the state's program.
We are now moving towards a next phase of our COVID response, where we're moving away from these really large-scale population-based strategies, giving vaccines in parking lots and that sort of thing, and trying to move some of this back into more traditional healthcare settings.
The state's mobile vaccine clinics will stay in operation, and community testing sites will also remain open during the coming months.
An instrument of power.
When people ask me what is bandura, I say it is Ukrainian harp.
A Colorado-based artist is using music to teach about Ukrainian culture.
Plus, Chris Rock takes the stage. What the comedian had to say in his first public appearance since the Oscars.
Warmer weather on the way for tomorrow, but our chance of snow will increase over the weekend.